The FCC says nearly 23 million American households could face a steep rise in their monthly internet costs. That's because congressional funding to the Affordable Connectivity Program will be cut beginning next month. That could have a huge impact on low-income and rural Hoosier families. That brings us to our next guest this morning, Hugh Odom. He's joining us on Daybreak now, and he is the founder and president of Vertical Consultants and a telecoms expert. Hugh, thank you for joining us this morning. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Well, let's get right on into the topic here. First, what is the Affordable Connectivity Program, and how will its reduction and possible loss affect people?
Well, the Affordable Connectivity Program was started back in the start of 2022. And the reason being is, as we learned during the COVID era, that we rely very much for business applications, educational applications, and more particularly telehealth applications on connectivity through the internet, wireless service, et cetera. This program provided a discount, a $30 discount for lower income and mostly older Americans. 11 million of the 23 million are people 55 and older. They really relied upon it for those telehealth and those health services that they get through that connectivity. Right now, as you mentioned, the funding is ending. There's a lot of efforts to try to extend that, but here in about a month or so, you're going to lose that funding. As a result, many people are not going to be able to have that connectivity to the internet, as you mentioned, up to 23 million.
So, Hugh, the big question here, who fills the gaps? I mean, do you think this is a situation where other internet providers could start offering discounts?
Well, I think there's two avenues. One, there's a bipartisan push to get this funding extended. A $7 billion extension would help this and keep up that subsidization available for low-income and older people across the United States. The second, the FCC, the government is saying to the carriers right now, hey, could you help us out and reduce your rates and provide some gap coverage here? I don't know if that's going to happen exactly. What may happen is you'll see a lot of these carriers, wireless carriers, et cetera, and internet carriers going out and offering a discount service. But with a discount service, you may get a lot less availability to certain aspects of your internet that you have right now.
So, Hugh, do you think this could turn into a huge campaign issue in Congress? I mean, what do you do here? I know you mentioned, or you touched on there, with possibly filling the gap with more funding, but do you think there will be more efforts from lawmakers to try and fully fund the program?
Well, one of the things that's misperception about wireless services and internet service is it's a luxury. It's a utility. If I said today 23 million Americans have the possibility of losing their power, their heat, their water, there would be an outrage. But you have 23 million people who rely upon internet services on their daily lives. And as I mentioned, for health services, it needs to be pushed up to the front of the line to say, hey, we need to make sure that we are in a country that provides this availability to people who otherwise wouldn't have the ability to pay for these services, even on some level. So I think it should be pushed up, because if we're not, we're just going to fall further behind the rest of the world, and we're going to have a lot of people in the United States at risk.
All right, Hugh Odom, thank you so much for joining us on Daybreak. Lots of great insight there, and I know a lot of Hoosiers, a lot of people in general really needed that explanation and that information.
Thank you.